AITA for not caring and refusing to help depressed half-sister after our father's death? I, 60s, have two sisters, 60s, and we were born from our father's first marriage. Unfortunately, our mother passed away when we were young, so our father was left all alone to take care of us, and I admit it must have been difficult to do so. I mean, we were teenagers at that time. Our father was an immigrant from Italy and saw the horrors of war firsthand, but was always a good father and also a decent man. He married his second wife, the stepmother, and they stayed together until his death. Bear in mind the stepmother was the same age as us, and so the relationship between was always strained. Stepmother got pregnant, and at that time, concerns were raised because of their advanced age. Unfortunately, our father passed away 15 years ago. My sisters and I were in our 50s, half-sister was only 12. She's now 27. I should mention that half-sister was absolutely the apple of our father's eye. When he passed, I made it very clear that I didn't want anything to do with the stepmother and half-sister anymore, that all the ties were gone, and so we were no contact for a couple years even though we lived in the same street. Stepmother took my half-sister out of school after his death, purposely ruining her daughter's life. I know that my half-sister did not have the normal experience of growing up. She also lost her friends, she missed out on the experiences, and I always knew it would come to this, because stepmother is a terrible person. I recognize that I did have the privilege of keeping a normal life after a parent's death, and while it is a shame that half-sister hasn't had the same chance, I choose not to intervene. Fast forward a couple years, found out my half-sister got severe depression, hasn't finished her studies, and is practically a doormat. Our father left each daughter a share in his estate, but half-sister was very irresponsible with hers. She tried to reach out to my sisters and I, saying her psychiatrist told her she needed a support group, and said she's alone and can't count on anyone else. She's going through a difficult time and wants to cut ties with her mother/our stepmother. She says she desperately needs someone. We tried to explain to her that a lot of time has passed, there's no bridge between us and our father's already dead. As in, there's no bond anymore. I got a call a couple days ago from the psychiatrist. Apparently she gave my number to him in case of an emergency, who's very worried about her. To put it bluntly, I told him to forget my number, to never contact me again, and made it clear that I don't want anything to do with the stepmother and half-sister. I also told him I will never forgive my half-sister for what she did to our father, destroying his legacy.